Before we get started on these highlights for the race at Martinsville, I want to give a quick shout out to the two previous winners at Auto Club and Bristol Motor Speedway, that being Jimmy Christensen and Chris Stump. Enjoy the highlights.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double time.
With race number 6 of the Gear Jammers Truck Series, they headed to the Martinsville Speedway for 250 laps of racing action here, was known as the Paperclip. Frank DiMaggio was on the pole with Brian Den, Brett Poncari, James Walker, and Jordan Malish to top 5 as the field would go for turns 1 and 2. DiMaggio would inherit the race lead early on. He would hold that for about 8 to 9 laps when eventually Poncari, who started in the first spot, would get the inside of DiMaggio in turn number 1, and he would take over the race lead and make the first lead change of the race. And Poncari early on had a very, very strong draw. He was ripping through this field left, right, and center, lapping all the way up to 11th place Andy Moore, but then a caution would come out for issue the 97 Brian Sullivan, and that would end the first segment. So as the field got underway for start of segment number 2, Justin Morton spins the tires of a 4, overcorrects, and hits the inside wall. He would keep it going and no caution would come out as a result. Now most of the front runners would stay out on older tires because of the way the segment ended, but Richard Swint was one of the first ones to pit, and he was making a charge from the field. Here on lap 100, he would get into the top 5, passing Frank DiMaggio. And as the field continued on, lap 109, Poncari was still in the lead, but Jordan Malish was starting to save his tires a little bit better. He would start to catch up to 19 and stay right with them. And then lap 117, Malish goes wide in 3 and 4, but then Poncari and Malish both hit the curb. Poncari gets out of shape, and he would lose the lead to Jordan Malish, now be the second lead change of the race. And Malish would hold that lead for a while to the end of the second segment as the caution would come out. More strategy would become involved in the next restart to start the final segment. James Williams would stay out on older tires, and he would get involved in a good scuffle. As Malish goes wide in turn 1, Poncari tries to carve it down to the inside, and Williams, Malish, and Poncari go free wide down the back straightaway. Jordan Malish goes to the lead, and Brett Poncari would go to the number 2 spot. But just as they were coming out of 4 behind them, Joe Petrick gets bumped into by Nicholas Londe Church, entering turn 3. Petrick would spin out. No harm was done, but that would be the first actual on-track incident that would cause a caution of the race. Malish would lead for a good while, but he and Poncari were having a big scrap. Malish goes wide in turns 1 and 2. Poncari goes to the inside, and he would take over with the race lead at the exit at turn number 4 as they were to complete lap number 155. Behind them, Joe Petrick gets it all wrong and free hits Dave Rowe and then spins Andy Moore, but surprisingly the caution does not come out. A tough break for those free drivers as the race would continue on, and things would go back to worse for Dave Rowe. He was still in the top 10 on lap number 208. He would hit the curbing and lose on the exit of turn 2, give a little kiss to the inside wall, but that would be the 4th caution of the race. And then a key moment, Malish on pit stops would decide at the very last second to go with 2 tires, and he would win the race off of pit road. Poncari would come out second, but as those guys pitted, 3 trucks stayed out. Richard Schwint, Justin Morton, and James Williams, and that would set up a wild restart on lap number 215. As they got going, Morton gets high out of 4, whacks the outside wall. They go free wide to turn 1. Schwinn jumps out to the lead. Malish locks up big time. Williams goes high. Free one on the exit turn 2, and everyone's scrambling behind them. Malish and Poncari go side by side to turn 3, battling for the number 2 spot. And Malish and Poncari touching 3 and 4. Malish gets a run on the exit at turn 4. He would take over number 2 spot. James Walker goes for 3rd. He wouldn't get it, but Malish to the inside. Schwinn in turn 1 and 2. He would take over the lead, and Poncari would come up into the number 2 spot. And then there was even more problems behind them for Justin Morton. He would lose it, entering turn 3, locking out the brakes to avoid hitting James Williams, but gets tagged in the rear by Jimmy Christensen, and he would go spinning into the inside of turns 3 and 4. That'll bring out the 5th caution of the race. As the race ended the closing laps, Pancari and Malish were having a dogfight for the lead. Both of them trading the lead back and forth, side by side, even almost trading paint down the front straightaway. And even later on, Malish was even throwing blocks as the race was getting deeper and deeper to its conclusion. James Walker, running in the first spot, was watching all this, licking his chops, hoping for a mistake from Pancari or Malish to maybe get himself into the fight for the win. But then with 7 laps to go, Justin Moore was involved in another incident. This time he gets into Frank DiMaggio on the exit turn number 4, and DiMaggio goes spinning into the inside retaining wall, and that would set up a 1-lap shootout for the win. And on that restart, Malish gets a great jump on Pancari. He and Walker would go battle. Link for the number 2 spot. Pancari goes way wide, and Walker would eventually just get Pancari at the stripe as Jordan Malish would pick up the win at the Martinsville Speedway in the Gear Jammers Truck Series. Your final results were Jordan Malish, James Walker, Brett Pancari, Brian Den, Justin Morton was 5th, Nicholas Lonnie Church 6th, Richard Schwinn 7th, Frank DiMaggio 8th, James Wills 9th, and Andy Moore would get the top 10.